get in the points lead, like I said. You just want to go out there, get a good start, and do that. And unfortunately, it didn't go his way. It's not like he did anything different. Yep. So it is what it is. It's in the past, and we're looking to, like I said, see a good performance today.
Yes, he has the black number plate backgrounds back of the bike because he lost the points lead. And I think start practice is over here, and we're about to be getting lap times for reals here at Millville and headed over to the Samwoops.
Yeah, dang it, I got to say, man, the track prep's looking pretty good today. I'm a little jealous.
I'm sure. I'm sure you want to be out there.
And she's overcast right now, which is really good for the track. So even for the spectators and the fans, I mean, you know, it's gonna clear up. It's gonna get sunny, and then it's gonna be hot, and everybody's gonna be going for their water. But for right now, this is good for the fans, and it's really good for the track.
Yeah. So explain why, when you don't have the heat early in the day, why it makes the track form out better.
Yeah. So when it's a little overcast and it's not as hot in the beginning of the day, it just helps keep the moisture in the ground. Mm-hmm. And the better the moisture, you know, the better the lines get. You can move around a little bit more. So as a rider, this is all time right now.
And I know people would say, of course it's just the track's prepped good. It's his dad in charge. But I've heard you and Alex, your brother, you're not afraid to throw some shade.
Oh, yeah, I've thrown some shade. There's been a couple of years, I'm not going to lie, I love you, Dad, but some of the prep hasn't been ideally the best. But this year she's looking pretty good, and like I said, I'm a little jealous.
I know, you'd probably like to be out there right now. And, I mean, you've been in the thick of it. The last moto we saw you out here last year, you were trying to give Jet a run for it, so you battled these guys.
Yeah, for sure. And it's you know, it's a bummer to be on the sidelines, but watching these guys, they're definitely looking faster this year and a little more fit. And it's interesting. Okay. It's interesting just to see, you know, who's I've rode with these guys enough over the years, but it's interesting to see some of their weaknesses and who's improved on them.
And you can tell by watching it. You see it. Yep.
Absolutely.
Okay. And people are probably wondering, and we'll wait for these guys to get the green flag and really go for it. So we'll chat a little bit your situation right now. You had shoulder surgery, and that's what's knocked you out. Yep. How's that going?
Yep. So we're about 4.5 months past the date of the surgery on the shoulder, and it's going really good. I've almost got full range of motion back. Yep. I rode for the first time with the new Club MX Muck-Off Yamaha team, and I was very impressed by the bike. And yeah, we're going to get back into it. Maybe we can be out there by possibly the end of the year. Yeah,
I don't think we expected that. There's a chance you might race before this year's over.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd really like to use this as a training deal for the last 2 rounds, and the team can get to know me. And there's no better place to do it with no championship battle, no pressure, and figure each other out.
Okay. Hope it works out. I know you got a couple weeks of riding to get under your belt to know for sure. We go to Justin Cooper, who was a fast qualifier in the first session, and now the riders are about to hammer some laps.
Yeah, it looked like I saw the green flag, and he's going for a hot lap, but I think he made a little mistake there, as you saw. So, but that in these hot laps, I mean, it's tough to be perfect the entire lap around, especially right in the morning when the berms are soft and you're just trying to find the flow. So I'm sure he's going to continue on here.
We go back to Ryder DeFrancisco. Yeah, so do you ever come off and say that was the best lap I can do, or was it always like I left the 10th here, I left the 10th there?
I can honestly tell you there's been a couple times where I'm like, man, I crushed that.
Okay.
And I was fastest. Okay. But more often than not, I'm not going to lie, like you're pushing so hard that you know you're going to make mistakes.
Yep.
And you know, it's just all right. Can I make the mistake and just carry the momentum through the turn and make it smooth and just keep the drive going?
Well, actually, I'll ask you about that. Shimoda, when he was fast qualifier at Redbud, that was the first time he ever did it. He said that's where he always struggled. He tries to go too fast, and it actually makes him slower.
Oh, I deal with that. I mean, I've been in the sport now for a little while, and that's still a struggle to this day for me, Jason. Yeah.
You want to send it, and it actually backfires?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's Cooper, who is just a master here at qualifying. We talk about it every week. He's always around almost the 50% mark in his career being fast qualifier. I think right now it's like 42% of the races he's ever been in, he's been fast qualifier, which is just a ridiculous number. And he stepped up last week, got back on the podium. It was a real struggle at Redbud, way below his normal standards. But with Cooper, he was coming back from injury. We don't really know exactly what to expect from him week to week.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking. We're just past halfway. This is round 7, so he did have that really nasty foot injury, and I was there practicing with him that day. And
you saw it?
Oh yeah, I felt really bad for him. It was, you know, you don't want to ever see anybody get hurt, and he was in a lot of pain, and he was out for a while. But we've got 7 rounds. This will be the 7th round now, and you know, he's been working with that Star Racing Yamaha team, and that bike is amazing. So they'll look at what those guys have done over the years. So, you know, I'm looking to see him start to inch up there and kind of get back to last year's form.
we've heard him making a lot of bike changes, huge changes, for example, between round 1 and 2. But how, when you're coming back from injury, and you're going to deal with this right now, you're not 100%. How do you know if it's you or the bike? Because these bikes want to be ridden in an exact window, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, there's a certain window for the motorcycle that each manufacturer, I think each bike has. But the biggest thing is when you're coming back from injury, you do tend to, you know, you might not be as strong to be able to manhandle the bike and whatnot. So, but, you know, everybody's evolving, right? So if it were me, I'd race Millville today and I'd be like, okay, I'd talk with my suspension guy at the end of the day and say, this and this was really good, but I'm struggling here right now. Okay, what can we do to make this thing better?
And that's all you can do.
And that's all we can do. And then you let the suspension guy go to work and think about it, and then he'll kind of brainstorm, and then be like, all right, I built this. Let's try it midweek. Okay. And then we get the lap times out, and we're, you know, it's a process, but sometimes we get it and sometimes we don't.
It worked for Cooper the first time. That 2:08 you see in the lower left, that's the time to beat from the first session. Hunter Lawrence has the fastest time in this session right now with a 2:10, so they got a long way to go to get there. We'll play the trivia game. What do you think? Session 2, you think it'll get quicker than session 1, or is session 1 going to be hard to top?
Ah, man, session 1.
I put you all on the spot with this, so don't feel bad.
I would honestly say with Mount Martin in the first practice session being smoother, you can really send it hard down there. Okay. You don't have to worry about any repercussions of the bumps or anything. Okay. But it doesn't, I mean, this is for me watching from the outside looking in right now, but the track looks good. So I'd like to think that maybe some of the lines are a little bit more developed where you can carry a little bit more speed in and not sink in as bad. So I guess I'd like to say I'd like to see some faster times. Okay,
it could happen. All right, we'll put it in a spot here. I like what you're saying, though. The downhill, the rougher that gets, the slower it's going to get. So that's going to slow down. We'll see if they can make it up in other sections of the track. And we're talking about the rookie here making his debut, Talon Hawkins. Let's send it down to Jason Thomas.
So, guys, I'm down here with Nate Ramsey with Rockstar Husqvarna team manager, of course. Now, one of your amateur riders, Talon Hawkins, making the move up to Millville. Can you walk us through a little bit of the game plan? We know that he's probably still, you know, looking towards Loretta Lynn's Amateur National. It's a big step this weekend, and just talk about a little bit of the strategy.
Yeah, it's a really neat rule that MX Sports and AMA came up with to let these amateur guys get their feet wet in a few pro races, you know, and not lose their amateur credibility. So we just told them, hey, let's get out there. Let's just see where you are, get your feet wet, learn some, you know, no pressure. Just get out there and do the best you can do.
Well, the key is that he also rides and trains with the pro riders during the week as well. She says he's normally doing 30-minute motos anyway. So the question is just how different is that from actually doing it in a race? That's going to be the big change.
I think the biggest difference, if I'm being honest, is just you tend to blow up a little bit more. Like when you drop with the 42, the fastest guys on that day, on that national track, full prep, you got to make sure you're breathing. You just don't go too hard out of the gate and blow up.
That's funny because every rider is like, it's a full sprint the whole time. No, there's a little game plan to it.
Yeah, there's a little game plan. I mean, some guys do a full sprint. For me, you know, I like to let the track kind of come to me. That's the beauty of the great outdoors is you got 30 minutes plus 2 laps. Okay. As long as you're in the top 5, you put yourself in a good position, and if you can make a move and it comes easy, great, right? But for me, I'm looking to, just kind of feel the track out, figure out what line's good and where can I push and where can't I.
It's the ETS drone cam here we're watching. Yeah, that's funny. Hawkins did an interview with Racer X yesterday, and he said, yes, he knows that he should try to manage himself throughout the moto, but if he gets a good start, he's like, I'm probably just going to go as fast as I can go.
Oh, hey, I'm guilty. In 2013, I went full send, and I had an epic battle with Tomac. I had nothing left for the second moto.
That was in the first moto. You blew it all out in Moto 1.
The first moto. I'm like, I'm going to get him. And then he jumped over my head.
Yeah, it was Mount Martin, but Tomac's pretty good on Mount Martin.
Yeah, he's a beast.
We go to Jet Lawrence here. Shimoda has clocked him with the top time, but still not top overall, but top in the session. Jet is 4th fastest at the moment. Hunter Lawrence and Moseman 2nd and 3rd. Cooper is 5th. And there's Max Voland heading in and out of the mechanics area on the Red Bull KTM. Let's go back to Jet. Thing about Jet, we talk about it every week. It's one of the speed you don't see. He looks, well, that was a little mistake there, but he looks so darn smooth. Yeah, he's going fast.
He's got a very effortless style. I mean, I'm a little jealous at times for sure. I mean, I'm more of a bulldog. We really kind of try to send it in there, but he's a really tall guy, and one thing that I admire is he's able to get back further with his butt, but also keep his head over the front of the bars. He can leverage the bike very well. And as me being a shorter stature guy, or you even notice with Zach Osborne, you're kind of stuck. We're more stuck in one position.
Okay. Yeah, you can't get all the way to the back without leaning back too far.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult.
Yep. We actually had talked to his dad after the race last week at Southwick, and he even said the height difference between Hunter and Jet, which isn't much, I'm thinking maybe 2-3 inches, not massive. But they have to run totally different setups. And they tried last week to have Hunter ride with Jet's shock. It doesn't work.
Really?
Just because of the leverage, yes.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, that just goes to show you, I've always, on a lot of the teams I've rode for, I've always run a different setup than everybody else. And even Big Al, the troll train himself. So I rode his setup, and I'm like, man, I don't know how you ride this.
You and your brother can't even do the same.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yep.
That's funny. Yeah, so same thing there with the Lawrence brothers. See riders clocking in and out. There was Ty Masterpool in the mechanics area. He's been very quick since coming back into the series as a privateer. And trying to back that up today. It's like a cruise lap here for Jet. As Shimoda is still with the top time in this session. Cruising up and down Mount Martin.
Joe's got to be, he's in a great position. You know, we finally got that moto win, overall win at Redbud. Yeah. And then last weekend, he was putting on a hard charge towards Jet. Yep. He's fastest qualifier right now. I feel like, you know, he hasn't straight up passed Jet, but he's definitely, to me, he's winning. He's getting better every weekend. You're seeing those little improvements, and that to me would be a win.
Yeah, confidence has to be growing for Shimoda for sure as we check in with RJ Hampshire. We talk about the effortless style of Jet Lawrence, then there's full send all the time. Yeah, RJ.
I love it, man. RJ's one of my good buddies, and we chat quite a bit during the week, and man, I admire his determination, and this guy is gritty. I mean, he can suffer.
Yes, no doubt, as far as energy and all that, but also the bounce back from a big crash or big injury, shrugs it off every time.
Oh, I know. It's truly impressive.
Yep, and I got to figure the fitness level for how hard he rides. Guy's got to be in shape.
Yeah, that's one thing I've noticed. Like, a Jet has a little bit more of an effortless style. He looks real relaxed on the bike, but a guy like RJ or myself, we tend to, I've noticed over the years, you have to be a little bit more fit to, you know, just with my style, I have to be more fit.
Have you tried, though, as you mature, try to become more efficient, as they say?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's little tricks you can do, like when you're coming out of a turn, like for example, like a sandy track, using the bump out of a turn as you go over it, allowing the bump to help you stand up. Yeah. So there's things that you can do to definitely help you relax, finding a smoother line and whatnot, but when you're in the heat of the battle, sometimes stuff goes out the window.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, then just go back to the instincts. I like it. And we've seen some out here. Oh, you and Ferrandis. Remember that one a couple years ago? That was send. That was full send.
Hey, I went so hard that second moto. I couldn't ride or do nothing for 3 days after.
Seriously?
Oh, man, it was rough.
The truth comes out now. I love it. That's why we get you in the TV booth. We'll see if the times pick up. I think Cooper's 2:08 might just hold on. As we watch Hampshire with one more lap around here, his time is just about to expire. Now it has in 2:50 qualifying.
Yeah, you kind of put me on the spot, and I was thinking it might be faster, but, you know, I was proven wrong.
It was good theory. Well, I don't know. Hey, clock just expired. Someone could be sending it. We're watching Hunter Lawrence here.
Ooh, he ripped that turn.
That's beautiful. So we'll see if someone can prove Jeremy Martin right here and go under 2:08. That's going to be tough with the pace we're seeing from the clock. Basically 2:10 is the best we've had so far.
Yeah, like I kind of told you earlier, when Mount Martin starts to get some braking bumps, there's a big difference. When you know that thing's smooth the first session, I mean, it's everything you got, full Monty down at the bottom.
All right, there is the checkers. Look at this. Cooper's not going to top his time from the first session, but he did just go to the charts, top of the charts here in the second session. He's looking to top both qualifying sessions today. Jet's still charging. Let's see this time.
Ooh.
Oh, close, but Cooper's still going to hold on. A 10th off. Difference between Jet Lawrence second and Justin Cooper first. Let's see what Shimoda has. I think we're assuming that Justin Cooper has this, though, just with the times this second session is giving us. Is Justin Cooper going to be your fastest qualifier today? Let's send it down to Jason Thomas.
Justin Cooper, fastest qualifier today. Has to feel good to get off to a good start. Podium last week. Seems like a little bit of a bounce back. You just trying to ride that momentum or what?
Yeah, for sure. That's where we want to be every weekend, but we definitely want to start challenging for the wins. We're halfway through, and I feel like I haven't really proven myself too much this year, so yeah, feeling a little bit of redemption. Feeling good on the bike today, so it's one of my favorite tracks. I think that goes for everyone, and yeah, awesome weather so far, and looking forward to these motos for sure.
All right.
Justin Cooper off to a good start, guys.
Absolutely, and that's what Justin Cooper does. The question is, can he carry that qualifying pace over into the race? And that wraps 250 qualifying for the day. Cooper topping both sessions, and we'll be back here in a moment from Millville as we get ready for our 450 class.
The 50th anniversary season of Pro Motocross is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on motorcycle insurance. Motosport.com. Make your next ride your best ride. And by Monster Energy. Unleash the beast.
All right, we are back. 250 is a wrap for qualifying today. By the way, that is the 24th time Justin Cooper has been a fast qualifier in 55 career starts. 450 class will be up next. If you want to watch the racing when race time starts, that'll be at 2 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock here local in Minnesota. All 4 motos, of course, live on MAV TV, or you can watch streaming with MAV TV on FloRacing. And don't forget our post-race show, which airs on MAV TV Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. Tracking our great champions throughout the history of the sport as we celebrate 50 years of motocross in America. Let's talk Mike Kiedrowski, who grew up in California as the son of a desert racer, and he went on to become one of the sport's most prolific and versatile champions. Mike Kiedrowski is one of the most underrated riders ever because he wasn't boastful and always carried a smile. But the numbers show his competitive side. From 1998 through 1997, the Southern Californian won 4 AMA National Motocross titles and became one of only 2 riders ever to win a title in all 3 divisions, 125, 250, and 500. In '89, the MX Kid came out of nowhere and shocked the industry by winning the 125 National Championship wearing number 762 on his Honda, and he attributed his immediate success to getting to ride with riders like established stars Ricky Johnson and Jeff Stanton on the Big Red team. He bested brutal rival Damon Bradshaw by just 3 points to win his first national title. The following year, Kiedrowski ran number 1, but came up short of his second straight crown to Guy Cooper by just a single point. Kiedrowski was out for revenge in '91, switching to Kawasaki and capturing another 125 national title. The following season, he'd move up to the 500 class and claim the championship as a rookie. And then in 1993, he captured the 250 championship. Along the way, Kiedrowski did heroes work for Team USA at the Motocross the Nations, helping the team to victory 3 times. In 1994, Kiedrowski was in a torrid fight to win the 250 national championship again until breaking his knuckle at Unadilla, ending his title bid. Kiedrowski would retire from motocross, but then he went off-road racing, joining Suzuki's powerful GNCC team and becoming a podium threat in the woods, as well as scoring 2 West Coast Works Championships and a gold medal at the International 6 Days Enduro, making him one of the few riders to ever succeed at both the ISDE and the Motocross of Nations. Mike Kiedrowski was inducted into the AMA Hall of Fame in 2007. I say it all the time. The MX Kid, highly underrated with how effective he was outdoors. 4 championships speaks volumes. And look at the podiums there. 51 podiums in 91 career starts. That's solid for the man from California. One of the most friendly guys you'll meet at the track. And I think Kiedrowski still keeps up with the sport, probably watching right now. Let's show some of the changes that they're making here at Millville. All right, get inside the Monty, your dad. What are they working on? Yeah, it looks good. Looks like they're just tuning up the bottom of Mount Martin right there. And what I see as a racer is I see the track crew's doing a good job. What you see is they probably looked at it and they saw a lot of the guys predominantly going to the inside, right? Yep. And then what they're trying to do is they're trying to open it up to make 2 lines, right? So the outside's going to
They smoothened it out. They kind of took down a little bit of that hump down there on the bottom, so you can carry a little bit more speed into the outside. And I bet you there's a nice fresh dozer berm right there at the bottom, so you can really lean it over and get into that thing.
All right, it'll be up to the 450 riders to hit that in just a moment. But before they go out for their final qualifying session, let's show you the highlights of last week's race. So this is Southwick, sandiest track on the circuit. You could say it's also the roughest track on the circuit. Jason Weigandt and the two-time national champ Jeremy Martin to give you the call here. Eli Tomac has been rolling as of late coming into this race, and he's always good at this track. It's going to be dangerous. We'll show you the start, though. It's going to be Ken Roczen and Ryan Dungey battling for the lead early.
Oh, yeah, it looks like Kenny rounds the first turn right there, and he's set up for a good day.
And a big pileup at the bottom of that's the green machine of Jason Anderson, a title contender, and your brother stuck there
dude,
too.
The troll train, man. Get going, dude.
Tough break for Alex Martin to be stuck in the back along with Anderson and a couple others. And then Christian Craig pouring it on, moves to second and challenges for the lead.
Yeah, it's really nice to see another star 450 up there. Just, oh, look at him, hammering.
Takes the lead from Roczen. You see Dungey's close in third. Great racing early. Now here's something you don't see much, a mistake from Dungey.
Yeah, Dungey's really been, this lot goes in a little too hard and loses the front end.
Yep. Rare error from the veteran. Loses a couple of key positions, including 1-2. Eli Tomac. Uh-oh, he's rolling.
Yeah, Eli's a beast, man. When he gets going at Southwick and finds that groove, look at him go.
Yeah, gets around Sexton, and this is the critical battle because they are 1 and 2 in the points, and Tomac was not done from there. He had Roczen in his sights, and he just kept charging.
Yep, just kept hammering, and look at him. Just get right there on the inside and power on up the hill.
Only one rider left for Tomac, and that's his teammate, Craig, and here it comes.
Wow.
And you can hear him dump the clutch of that Yamaha and just leap past Craig. Into the lead goes Tomac. He was 8th at one point, but Sexton has to get to at least 2nd for points, and he does.
Impressive ride. Chase has really stepped it up this year in the outdoor class, and he's really given Eli, making it tough on him.
Yep, with 2nd, it was all he could do. You're not going to be able to top Tomac straight up at Southwick. That's really difficult, but he would minimize the damage with 2nd as Tomac takes the moto win. We go on to moto number 2. Tomac hoping for a little bit better start this time, as is Anderson, who's trying to avoid the pileup. But it's Roczen leading them again.
Yeah, what Moto 1, Moto 2 whole shot, no.
Hey, the troll train jumping over one of the banners here with a good start in 4th. Craig is there and Plessinger as well.
Yeah, it was really nice to see Plessinger up front and an awesome moto for him.
Yeah, this is the rebound he needed after a mediocre start to the season. He starts in 3rd. But here comes Tomac.
Yeah, don't you just love to see it? You know, Eli coming through the pack and just giving all these guys a run for their money.
Yeah, he gets around Roczen here and would just not be stopped on this day as expected at a rough sand of Southwick, but Plessinger had a good one going.
Yeah, just a hard charging day for Plessinger here in the 2nd moto.
That puts him into 2nd around Roczen after Tomac had taken the lead. And now the ball's in Sexton's court, and he responds again.
Wow.
Big charge from Sexton. He loved this outside to inside.
Yeah, he was really working that. Looks good.
And there is the 2nd place spot for Sexton to go 2-2 on the day. Again, trying to minimize the damage on a track where Tomac is so tough. A 1-1 for ET3, and that's 5 straight moto wins and 3 straight overalls for the Monster Energy Yamaha Star Racing rider, with Sexton and Plessinger for the first time this year up on the podium. And there are the results. Yeah, the 7-3 from Plessinger. That is a big breakthrough, that first podium of the year.
Yeah, it's when you get that first one, I think he's smelling a little blood in the water now, and I think AP's looking to carry a little momentum.
The fans certainly would like to see that happen, because Plessinger is definitely one of the favorites out here. We'll see if he can carry that over. Roczen and Craig end up 4th and 5th overall as we head to 450 racing at Millville. Earlier, Jason Thomas had a chance to talk to some of these contenders.
Aaron Plessinger, really nice ride last week. Kind of a breakout for the season. What was different? I think we've all been kind of waiting for it, but it showed up at the Wick.
Yeah, I mean, not much is different. We've been really working on the bike, trying to get me a lot more comfy. But overall, it was just good starts. Good starts were were key last weekend, and I got up and I figured out the pace of Eli and Kenny, and I just kind of held her good, and safe to say my fitness was good. That track was rough, and you know, I'm looking forward to getting out front a lot more. We got the bike working really good. The team has been behind me 100%, and yeah, we're ready to get out front some more.
Yeah, and the fans are as well.
We had Ryan Dungey, home race. I mean, everybody with a pulse is cheering for Ryan Dungey this weekend. More nervous, more excited. I mean, you have to feel a little bit of emotion coming back here.
Oh, it's definitely exciting. You know, I grew up racing here and got a lot of friends, family, and yeah, it's cool to see how supportive everybody is. But the goal too when you're racing, just like the practice track, try to apply yourself, get the job done, and yeah, enjoy it at the end.
Well, Red Bull KTM boys are looking to turn it up this weekend. One with a bounce back last week and one with a hometown ride.
Good job, JT, grabbing both guys. People are definitely pumped on the prospects for both of those riders, and hoping for a little show here as well. That's the 26 machine of Alex Martin. That's your brother. But this is it. After a 13-year career that saw him claw his way from a privateer to factory bikes and even race winner, Alex has announced that he is retiring from full-time competition at the end of this season.
My longtime coach and trainer, John Wesley, and I, we started troll training a few years ago. And yeah, so that's done really well, and I'd like to continue growing that. You know, I plan to go get some education, right? Because you know I'm a motocross racer, so I want to keep learning on the health and fitness side of it, and you know, just trying to share my 15+ years of experience with the sport, and just try and continue growing that side of it too. And it's been really fun. I've learned a lot working with Club MX this year as well, because they have an actual training facility. So there's hopefully maybe we can merge or something like that in the future. But in all, like I definitely want to keep growing that, as well as my parents owning Spring Creek MX Park. That's something in the future for sure. So you may be seeing Jeremy and I around there for years to come. Coming into this season, I wanted to at least try one 450 season. I've been a 250 guy most of my career, 13 years in fact, and I've been enjoying this season a lot with Club MX, FXR, Muck-Off team. But I'm like, I think I made the right call for being a 250 guy. Just with my stature, I'm only 5'4", 140 pounds, and yeah, definitely, I've taken some hits this year, and it's been a long year. It's 14 years at the top level of the sport, and that doesn't come without some, there's been a lot of positives and negatives, ups and downs, but all in all, kind of looking back, I feel like I've reflected a lot this year, kind of knowing that it was going to be my last year. So I'm really glad that I didn't give up, like maybe my 7th year of being a privateer, because it was in the 8th year when I finally got a factory I would start racing. By getting my first podiums with the Cycle Trader Rock River team, Chris and Christina Denny, that was pretty huge. Making it through the 1110 mod privateer days was pretty huge with my teammate Phil Nicoletti. And then my run of factory, winning races on Star Yamaha, race for Team USA over in Italy, and almost won, Motocross des Nations. TLD, we had a lot of podiums, and second in the 250 outdoor series. And then going over to JGR, I had a great time with that group of people. What a great group of people that was. And then, yeah, now to finish off in the 450 class, it's been great. I couldn't ask for much more. Going into Millville, just knowing it's my last race, at full time, right, it's probably going to be a little emotional, I would imagine. But, there's been a lot of positives to look at. So I'm just going to try and be in the moment, enjoy it the best I can. And this 450 class has been really, really tough this year. It's been a challenge like anything else I've experienced in my career, it seems like. So, for me, it's just trying to get the best result possible. Still got 7 races left. So really just trying to do the best I can and finish out on a strong note.
And there's Big Al. That's your brother. Won't be getting to race him today, but I'm sure we'll see you hanging out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm excited that I get to be here and witness his last race here at the hometown deal, and hopefully he can have a good day and get a whole shot and get some top 10s.
Last night, talking to both of you, there obviously is pressure racing in front of the friends and family and all that, but you were both talking about this boost, this extra emotional boost you get in the home track.
Oh, absolutely. There's something about the hometown crowd, you can hear the roar as you're going around.
Yeah.
And then that's like, I don't know, man. If anybody out there could experience that, I tell you what, it's truly an amazing feeling. And hopefully they're out there doing that today for them. A good old send-off.
Well, you gave Al some credit. That was who you were chasing when you were younger. That's really what drove you to try to catch your older brother.
Yeah, absolutely. He's the reason. He's a big key to my success. He's the reason why I got into it. I thought he was just a badass, and I just wanted to be like him. And here we are. We're both racing.
Yeah, it's cool. And you're going to end up going to the team that he's racing on this year. So there's some crossover there as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty
excited about that. Yeah, so be part of the Muck-Off Club MX Yamaha team as we get ready. Oh, there's some Troll Train fans up in the hills there. There's Alex. And it is a 450 this year, and he actually is the all-time starts leader.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, all-time starts leader of the 250 class in this sport. So we talk about coming through the ranks and now getting to the point where he is going to be moving on and retiring. But all great stories have to start somewhere. And for the top motocross riders in America, their first chapter usually begins by earning the invite to the Monster Energy Loretta Lynn's National Championship.
The first time I went to Loretta Lynn's, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. We pulled in and we were like, we are out of our leagues in this thing, but Loretta's was just that next level of seriousness, you know. It was an eye-opener, that's for sure.
Loretta's is like the one race that you strive to get to all year when you're an amateur. To actually get through qualifiers, get through regionals, and do all that you need to do to get to that place, it's pretty surreal when you do, because that's something that people work their whole lives for, and you know, to get into that prestigious race is a pretty awesome feeling.
My first time at Loretta Lynn's would have been 2006, I think. 50 junior class. I wasn't very good. I was kind of a slow learner, so going there my first time, it was a lot to take in. I was just there to have fun, honestly. I was not really there to win, just more there for the experience. I think my family was as well, so it was cool.
When you get into the ranch there, it feels like you're in different air. It's that type of place when you go there. So that's the first thing I remember is it's the big show, and it's intimidating.
Even as a little kid, you knew that was the pinnacle of amateur racing. I mean, that was the biggest race, and to win that, all the factories are there, they're watching you, and so the first year wasn't great, but I think it was good to experience it, get the nerves out, and from then on, just try to keep building every single year and getting better. And I was actually fortunate enough to win it my last year as an amateur. To be able to win Loretta's, it was a pretty cool moment.
And if you want to watch that race, it'll be the first week of August. As always, racing always starts on Tuesday, runs through Saturday. Go to racertv.com. We'll have the motos live. I'll be there. Give the call. A lot of history baked into Loretta Lynn's. Pretty much any rider you're watching as a pro going into the starting gate here had to go to the starting gate there to earn their place, including you want a factory ride, that's where the scouts are going to be. And it all leads to this, trying to win this 450 National Motocross Championship. And Jeremy Martin, what a championship battle we have.
God,
1 point.
I know, it's been a crazy year. I mean, I think this is probably some of the best outdoor racing we've seen in a while.
Yeah, so Sexton holds the points lead, but Tomac has won the last 3 races overall in the last 5 motos. So the momentum's on ET's side, but Sexton has done what he needs to do.
Absolutely. He's gotten great starts, and in the mistakes he's made, he's gotten right back up to 3rd or 2nd.
Yeah.
I mean, what more can the guy do?
He's been super consistent, and really I feel like since Sexton's been on the 450, that's what everyone said. He's got to cut out the crashes, the mistakes. He's done that for the most part.
Yeah, he's definitely improved on that, and he's still young in his career.
So it's going to be a great showdown between Tomac and Sexton. They have broken away from the rest of the pack as far as the points are concerned. Your guy, Big Al, here, they got to get him in the right spot working on that.
Yeah, he's letting Eli go.
Okay.
Last weekend, he got a good start, and Eli was there, and he says, dude, the revs on Eli, and that guy was wide open in places that he goes, he shouldn't have been wide open.
Really?
Yeah, he goes, I said, he's like, just take it, Eli.
That is hilarious, okay. And I'll tell you what, the Yamahas have a distinct sound. So Tomac has always ridden like that, but you combine that with him being on a Yamaha this year, you can hear him coming for sure.
Yeah, I think it was one heck of a bark, for sure.
Yes. I was standing right over here in the sand whoops in the first qualifier, and I could literally tell, before I could see him, I could tell when Tomac was coming because of how hard he pushes that motorcycle. To watch Sexton and the rest of the field through these sand rollers. That's another trademark section of the track. We talk a lot about Mount Martin, but those sand loops.
Yeah, those. I tell you what. I mean, you want to talk about pacing yourself a little bit. I mean, when you're 28 minutes into the moto and you know you got them sand whoops coming. I mean, yeah, that's a lot of leg strength you need right there.
Sexton still carrying the red plate. Like we said, it's only 1 point between he and Tomac at the halfway point of the series. 6 races down, 6 to go. It really doesn't get any better than that. So we head up Mount Martin here for 450s in their final qualifying session. Savatgy behind Sexton. Savatgy's quick earlier today. So we'll see if those times hold up.
Do you think Savatgy could pull out another Redbud Moto 1 today?
It has to be there. It has to be there. And you know what has been odd about the 450 class, and you've been watching it, is we've seen sparks from so many riders. I know we're talking so much about Sexton and Tomac and the points. They pulled away. But there are so many riders who here and there, so a good moto from McElrath, a couple good motos from Dungey, podium last week from Plessinger. That's what makes it so fun to watch this year.
I know, and we're getting a little bit further into the season, so people are getting more fit. They're starting to figure their bikes out. So I think we're in for some surprises here in these next few rounds.
Yeah, Joey did it. Got a moto podium at Redbud to show that he can get it done. Had to hold off a lot of fast riders to do it, so it's not something you don't get without earning it. And, yeah, Joey's coming back from ACL injury, so you got to figure he's going to keep getting better.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's you know, a knee's it's not something small, you know, and that's a big deal. So I don't think he probably had much seat time coming into the season.
They actually held him out of the opening round of the series, Monster Energy Kawasaki, because he hadn't really done many 30-minute motos. He made his debut at round 2. And then there he is at round 5, getting a moto podium. So we'll see what Joey can do for the rest of the day. He's actually the fill-in replacement for Adam Cerullo, who we now hear is back on a motorcycle and just starting to get things going. Whereas Savatgy, he was off the track.
Yeah, they're trying to launch in there and carry as much momentum as possible to jump in and then make that turn and just click probably 4th gear and just really keep the RPMs low to get that rear wheel driving.
Yeah, so you talked about that when we showed the track map. You don't want high RPM through there. No,
not necessarily. The higher the RPM, the more I guess I would say ill the chassis feels. It gets a little bit bound up, and you know, I'm guilty for revving it. Like I said, you get caught up in the moment and things go out the window. But 4th gear is I'd be going for 4th through there.
Yes, it's the weird thing. Explain that, where the engine has an effect on the way the chassis feels.
Yes, absolutely. So for me, I've always liked a smoother, you can have a really fast engine, but if you can't ride it, it'll beat you up, it'll wear you out. So for me, I typically look to smoothing the engine out, but you also got to have enough bottom to obviously get you out of the gate, and when the ruts are deep and soft, to pull you out. But the smoother the engine is, the longer your gears are, 2nd and 3rd, and you're just able to be a little bit more relaxed. You're not constantly having to shift up and do this and do that.
We go back to Ryan Dungey here. Whoa! Don't see that much from Dunge. Top of that hill. It's deceptively slick up there, though, right?
Yeah, that's what I would say. One of the keys to the race today for me is just keep an eye out, everyone, for the soil. It looks really good. It looks really fluffy, but it's got a hard base to it. And I'd say that's one of the keys to watch out for today.
So do you think that's what caught Dungey there?
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty hard packed up there. And it'll get a little choppy, so sometimes you can lose the rear.
And he's got Justin Barcia always throwing it sideways, always revving the motorcycle. That's almost like putting on a freestyle whip train show there.
Yeah, Barcia's a really fun person to watch ride. I mean, you think he uses a lot of energy?
Yeah, the efficiency, I don't know if that's the goal. Maybe in his mind, he maybe thinks he is. So this is really interesting with Dungey coming back into racing this year, and we'll be talking about this all day. This is the home race. He's had so much success here. Fans are going nuts even in qualifying this morning. And when he retired, he actually did quite a few things. Got his own coffee company. And then last year, he launched his charitable foundation. Had a chance to talk to Ryan about that.
With the foundation and the motivation to give back, it's kind of experiences, really. You know, I've lost many family members to cancer, and so that's why St. Jude's a really important place to me. It has been for a while. So when we started the foundation, it was just naturally St. Jude was a organization we were going to support. And then just given my background in 2-wheels, you know, 2-wheels has took me in many places. It's provided a lot of opportunities, and you know, there's a lot of kids in the world that aren't going to get to experience 2-wheels at all just at a young age. And so with this All Kids Bike program, we can teach kids how to ride, give them the opportunity to experience two wheels, and maybe they might take it to a pro level like this, or might take them down a different venture. But overall, it's going to help them get out of the house and, you know, help them create healthy and active lifestyles. So that to me, that's the motivation in giving back.
Yeah, that's all kids bike. We in this industry, all of us, we understand bicycles and motorcycles, but it was shocking when they put that program together in Minneapolis Supercross earlier in the year, the numbers of how many kids do not ride bicycles at all anymore. So that group gets bicycles in the schools so kids can experience two wheels. And once you experience it, it's kind of hard to put it down.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great feeling, and the freedom alone of just being on two wheels, and like Dungey said, being outside and hanging out with your buddies and meeting up and trying to learn how to hit a jump. There's nothing like it.
Guy hitting it best right now is Chase Sexton. His time is not only tops in this session, it makes him fastest overall. And Jason Thomas, you want to weigh in on this? Go ahead, JT.
Yeah, so you guys noticed the lap times are quicker. I watched them do a ton of track work before this final qualifying round, which is atypical. That's not the norm. So I just wanted to ask J-Mart, was that premeditated? Obviously, your family owns this facility. Did you know that was going to go down? That's not really what I was expecting.
Yeah, no, I absolutely didn't. I didn't know if it was going to go down, but I think that's the track crew and everybody making a judgment call, just trying to open the track up, make alternative lines, and try to, I mean, why not do it right now? Help figure out how to create more side-by-side action with the racing today, so why not try it out in practice?
Okay, so yeah, you were talking about maybe getting an outside line to work better at the bottom of those hills?
Yeah, absolutely. I tell you what, I sure would like to lay into one of them freshly prepped like that.
Well, Chase Sexton's going to look good doing it. Wow, feet on the pegs through that.
Wow, he's carrying some speed. We can see why he's the fastest qualifier, I think, huh?
Absolutely. There's no he might lower his own time with the way he's riding right now. Going to drop back downhill here. You can see the stats here on Sexton. I just heard a panic rev back there, so that was scary for a moment. But look at that. The improvement really in his consistency. Now we got the drone up in the air. Have never had this drone shot at Mount Martin. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
So let's see what he does at the bottom of this hill. This is going to be one of the sections they're working on, right? When he gets to the bottom?
You think he'll take that outside?
Looks like it. He went for it.
Oh,
there it is.
There we go.
Okay.
Oh, he took the lower line on the outside, which was good. And then he was able to snake that inside line and cut off take less track off.
Okay, so it's entered on the outside, ended up in the middle. It's the Beta Motorcycles drone cam to show you that shot. We've never had that angle here of this track to see how that downhill unfolded. So now we got the watch going to see if Sexton can top his own time. And by the way, you know, last week we knew that would be a strong point for Eli Tomac Southwick. But I cannot believe this stat. Eli Tomac has not won a moto here at Millville since 2018. So this could be the type of track where Sexton could put it back together. Did not lower his time, but he doesn't need to. He's still on top. And his teammate Ken Roxon is second quickest. And this is going to be something. Okay, I know you say if you're top 5, you're good, but this is a big gap. We're talking almost 2 seconds right now between Sexton and Tomac.
Yeah, so I've had a gap like this in my career, and obviously you come back to the truck and you're just kind of like, dang it, man, where's those 2 seconds, you know? But I think the biggest thing is you got to remember, practice is practice. Qualifying is one thing to turn a fast lap once, but I'm looking to find a setup that I can race today. I'm looking to find the flow of the track, because that's the most important thing. You know, you got to be able to go hard for 30+2 twice.
Looks like a darn moto right here. Anderson and Tomac. Looks like they're battling. This is just qualifying. I think Tomac really wanted to go, but Anderson's holding him up.
Oh. Got him.
It's like they're making a pass. This is like a race.
Dude, I know.
Side by side. Anderson has, can I say, repassed?
Yeah, you think he's trying to jack with him? I don't know.
It almost would have to, because I don't see that happen in qualifying.
Yeah, you don't really see that, huh?
Yeah. And now Tomac has just said this lap's not going to work.
Yeah, he's not gonna play any games. He's just trying to wait or something.
Strange situation there. Anderson is third quickest in this session. You can see with the 2:08.2, and then Tomac 300ths off of that. But you don't normally see this happen. So now Tomac's going to try to get a gap. Anderson throwing it sideways there. That was a strange scenario. You don't normally you can just tell who's looking for a fast lap and who's on cruise mode.
Yeah, for sure.
They don't repass each other.
I've been very impressed with Jason this year on that Kawasaki. I mean, in Supercross, amazing season. In outdoors, I think he's probably on the best form we've ever seen him on the 450. Wouldn't you say, Jason?
Yeah, well, he got the overall win for the first time ever. That's one thing, but you take a couple of mistakes out of it. The speed has been there every week.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm curious to see what happens here because, you know, they both kind of laid up. You know, are they going to give each other some space? Are they both going to go for a fast lap?
Yeah, this is almost a chess match here because we're coming up on the finish line where the clock will start again. How much distance does Eli want to give him? Yeah, and he's got to hope that Anderson does a fast lap.
Yeah, and they got about 3 minutes and 40 seconds left in qualifying, so, you know, this is it.
Well, Jason's throwing down, so Tomac's not going to have to worry about getting held up this time. You can tell. Oh!
It's really fun to watch these fast qualifying laps, huh? I mean, in the motos, these guys are going really hard, but, I mean, you really see it all. It's all out on the line here.
And Barcia, you know he's going to do the same, so this is going to be fun to watch as well. Send it down to Jason Thomas again. JT?
So I'm down here with Tyler Keefe, who is the team manager for Justin Barcia. Now, it's been a little bit of a roller coaster season up and down. I really thought he made a breakthrough at Redbud, but the one thing I've noticed is that qualifying has been very challenging. Is that something you guys have been able to diagnose and figure out what's holding him back in these qualifying sessions?
Yeah, obviously Justin tries really hard, and so we just got to get him to be basically smooth and latch on to somebody. In a race, he can run the pace, no problem, but in practice, he's just overriding it. So just trying to work with that, trying to have him link in with some guys and see where we're at.
Big changes for Barcia last couple weeks on the motorcycle. He told me today they've gone all the way back to last year's settings. He's gone all the way back, and I said, do you know if that's going to work? And he's like, I don't. That's what they hope. We'll find out, I guess, at the end of the day. It's so weird how that game is played. Sometimes you try to make all this progress and you end up right back where you started.
Yeah, man. If I'm Barcia, though, I believe he got the overall last year. He had a heck of a day. So maybe not too bad of an idea to start off with that base setting that he ran at Millville last year.
That's right. He won the race last year. Good call. Yeah. There's Aaron Plessinger. They were working on his Red Bull KTM, and he's about to go back out. Yeah, Barcia was the overall winner. I believe it was 1-2 moto scores. So why not run last year's setup? And it was the same thing. It had been an up-and-down season for him outdoors until this race when he got the win. We go back to Sexton, still carrying that top qualifying time. Man, does he look good today.
Yeah, he does. He looks like he's really kind of on rails right now, and he's hitting his marks, and there's no pauses in the middle of his turns right now. And, man, he just looks so strong on the bike, huh?
Yes, and now you see him closing in on Tomac. We already saw the cat and mouse with Tomac and Anderson, and we always have a reversal here with Sexton and Tomac. Let's see if Tomac, no, he's looking back. He's not looking to uncork it. So they're both going into cruise lap speed now. And Sexton might just be saying, that's it. I'm going to see if that 206.3 holds up. By the way, how often do you even know where you stand? We don't have the big scoreboard like we do in Supercross here.
Yeah, so that's the beauty of the mechanics. You know, those guys are always in there. And, you know, It's always nice. They're always kind of let you know what the top time is, and then they let you know what position you're in, or sometimes they'll say, hey, you need to change in this section. You need to change it up over here or whatever. So the communication is really nice at this point in the day.
So usually you do know in qualifying where you stand via the pit board.
Absolutely. Yep. And then obviously it's a bit hard to communicate. The board's only so big and whatnot, but for the most part, Alex right now, you know, he doesn't look to be in the top 10, but he definitely knows where he's sitting right now, and he looks like he's kind of maybe going to tee up for a fast lap here.
11th fastest right now is Alex Martin here in his last go-round at Millville. Although you and your buddy Phil Nicoletti and the team, I think, even holding out like, we'll see you go through a whole winter, Al. We'll see if you really don't want to do any racing anymore.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely ready for a little break. I think he wants to enjoy a beer or two and not feel guilty about it. And I think he's ready for the next step. But like I said, the winters get pretty cold here in Minnesota. I mean, it gets pretty hot in the summer, but really cold in the winter. So we'll see if he can make 6 months of winter here.
Yeah, and then I want to be like, hey, let's go down to South Carolina and ride a little bit. And then once that happens, things start unfolding in a hurry. We're back into the sand rollers. We got the drone cam on Alex Martin. Let's see if he can put it into the top 10 on times. He's 12th quickest right now. It is Sexton, Broxton, Anderson, Tomac, Savatgy top 5. And Dungey, Plessinger 6-7. Craig, Anstey, Barcia, McElrath, and then Martin 12th ahead of Bloss, Marchbanks, and Hartrath. Marchbanks had a big crash at our last race, and he's pretty banged up. He did, Marchbanks told me he got to ride one day this week just to make sure he was ready to go today. This is awesome to have this drone. We've never had this here.
I really enjoy this angle for sure. You can kind of see the ruts. You can kind of see the lines, how they're looking. Do they have kinks in them and whatnot? So great view there, guys.
All right, let's see what Alex can put together here on this Muck-Off Club MX FXR Yamaha. Going to the top of Mount Martin is Martin. Sometimes that jump is hard to get. Not this year. Everybody's even throwing some style into it. I guess that's more of a 250.
Look at him going way out wide there. I haven't really seen anybody take that line yet.
Are we going to say that's local knowledge? I mean, do you guys even ride that section of the track?
Well, see, so the last couple of years I've come back. Okay. And I've trained, and I love it. You know, my dad's out there, the whole family, they help me kind of water the track during the week and whatnot. So Alex has been down training at Club MX, so he hasn't had any, I guess, any seat time this year. But needless to say, I think we've done about a bazillion more laps than everybody.
Yeah. It's funny, last night you were saying the school bus would drop you off here where you lived,
yeah,
and it was time to fire up the dirt bike.
Oh, yeah. We come home, and then we go hop on the bikes and, yeah, just go bop around and do the deal.
Let's see what Alex can throw down here on this time. Can he get it into the top 10? Sexton has the time to beat with a 2:06.3. Checkers are out because time has expired. He did not move up. It's going to be 12th fastest in this session for Alex Martin, and it looks like Sexton's time will hold up for fastest in the session 2 and overall. So we'll talk to Chase Sexton in just a moment.
The 50th anniversary season of Pro Motocross is brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. With a nationwide network of parts and care, Napa helps you get up and go. Honda, celebrating 50 years of off-road dominance. And by Lucas Oil. Keep that engine alive.
Qualifying for the seeded A group of 450s is complete. It will be Chase Sexton on top. We knew going into Southwick that Eli Tomac would be tough, and he went 1-1 and made up a bunch of points in the series leader. We'll see if Sexton can bounce back today. To watch it, it'll all be on MAV TV starting at 2 o'clock Eastern time, 4 straight hours of coverage, or you can watch MAV TV on FloRacing. So Sexton is your fast qualifier in the 450 division. Let's send it to Jason Thomas.
Chase Sexton, your fastest qualifier. Now, I noticed they worked on the track quite a bit before that second session. Was that a little bit of a surprise you guys could be really, really aggressive and actually up your time from the first go-round?
Yeah, it's cool they're taking care of the track. They fixed a few berms, so the first couple laps were really good. I think my last lap was the best because they got a little bit harder, but yeah, the track's fun. It's got a little bit of a hard base to it, so we're back on the regular tire, which is nice, and just looking forward to a good day. I love coming here. I grew up racing here as an amateur from the Midwest, so just excited to come out here and put on a show.
Hey, that says a lot. He says the regular tire. A lot of times they run that scoop tire, more of a sand tire here. So that's big if the riders feel the dirt is formed up in a different way.
Yeah, like I said, it definitely has a little bit of a hard base. So I think as the day goes on, I'm not surprised Chase said that. He's going to be looking for a little bit of side traction at the bottom of these hills.
But is the scoop tire better for the start? Is that a compromise?
You know, you got a good point.
Okay.
But I'd like to think that Honda 450's got some bark in that engine. So, you know, I think he could get away with it.
Okay, it'll be really interesting to see the way everyone plays it. Motos will start at 2 o'clock Eastern. That's 1 o'clock here Central Time in Minnesota. Jeremy Martin will be back with us in the booth to call the action all day long, as will Jason Thomas patrolling from the racetrack. Thanks for joining us here on MAV TV on FloRacing for qualifying. We'll see you this afternoon.